What is up, guys? It's your boy Rick Kakis, and today, with Act 2 of Episode 1 Echoes recently arriving in Destiny 2, we got a bunch of new content, new activities, new loot, and one of those new things was a new exotic catalyst for the Echoes Season Pass exotic, which of course is the Red Death exotic pulse rifle. And guys, this thing is I'm trying to be family friendly. It is flippin' insane. If you're someone who enjoyed using the Red Death, oh my god, this catalyst just makes it so much better. And so, let's get started. First things first, how do you actually acquire this new catalyst? Well, you will simply need to level up the Act 2 section of your Season's Pass. As you can see right here, you get the catalyst at level 145. I was able to get it quickly because I didn't claim all of the seasonal weekly challenges. Once I got to level 100, I just saved them and then popped them all as soon as Act 2 started. A little piece of advice there for Act 3 coming up later at the end of August. You may want to do that once you've maxed out your Act 2 Season's Pass, right? But once you claim this exotic, you will still need to then get a bunch of kills with the Red Death itself in order to level up this catalyst, unlock the ability to equip it, and of course with the Red Death, getting a bunch of kills is not a hard thing to do, because frankly, and one of the most important factors when assessing the impact of this new catalyst, is that the base Red Death is already cracked out of its mind! I mean, the Red Death already sees a ton of play, both in PvP and in PvE. Let's go over its exotic traits to refresh what specifically it does. Intrinsically, it has redemption. Final blows with this weapon cure you, and it's cure ×2, so you're getting all of your health back for a final blow, and increase your reload speed. Reloading after final blows cures your teammates nearby. And then it also has inverse relationship, where when you deal damage with this weapon, it gains increased handling, it takes reduced flinch, and movement speed is increased for a short time, and when you are at reduced health, this weapon deals additional damage. The Red Death by itself is incredible. A ton of you guys were using the Red Death before this catalyst, and the catalyst is not a joke. It is not just, oh, here's a little bit more stats, or here's a minor perk. The catalyst makes an already insane weapon just even more ridiculous. Let's take a look at what it actually says. So, specifically, final blows charge this weapon now. When the weapon is charged, the next final blow creates a healing burst at your location and leaves a remnant behind that provides restoration to allies. So here's what that actually looks like in game. So as you can see right here, when I get a kill, pay attention to what is displayed on the actual gun. So as you can see, I have this half-charged meter right below the round count, and when I get a kill, it goes to fully charged. Then you will see in the left corner of your screen, the Red Death is charged. Now when I get a kill, you will actually see a little burst go around me. Now at this point, I reload, I go back, and now look below the round count, that bar is now empty. And then I get a kill, it goes up to half, I get another kill, it goes up to full. So this actual visual representation on the gun is kind of the only way it's going to track how charged the gun actually is. So this also means that 2 red bar kills will charge it, and then the 3rd red bar kill will release this healing blast. Now, I did find out when it was fully empty, I killed a yellow bar, almost like a mini boss actually, and it seems to have fully charged the gun and released the healing burst in one single kill. But there's a healing turret kind of right beside me, and now I'm questioning what's going on, but just keep that in mind. Higher tier enemies may result in more charge for your gun. Now, the burst is not just normal burst. Like we went over with the perks, we were dealing with cure before. You would cure yourself on a final blow. But with a charged kill, as you can see right here, you get 6 seconds of restoration ×2. Now, importantly, 6 seconds is the extended duration with Ember of Solace. If I take that off, it goes down to 4 seconds, but for how easy that is to trigger, that's still a huge amount of restoration times 2. And you can see from this clip right here how insane restoration times 2 is. Like, all these ads are shooting me, I'm healing right through it. I'm not just staying alive, I am healing past the amount of damage I'm taking. Restoration times 2 is one of the most important factors in a survivability build. Like, if you have restoration times 2 and any sort of damage resistance, you can't die. Like, it is an incredible amount of healing. That's why the Speaker's Sight with the healing grenade turrets are so incredible. You can get restoration times 2 from those. And again, when that hits you, you almost can't die. So think about this. Just think about just normally you solo using the Red Death now with the Catalyst. Every third kill, you get 4 whole seconds and up to 6 of restoration times 2. So that gives you a 4-second window to simply get 3 more red bar kills. With a gun as good as the Red Death that boosts its own damage if you get low health? That's not a hard thing to do. If you are going through any sort of just normal content, you're doing a strike, you're doing a seasonal activity, you're doing whatever, you can basically have restoration times 2 up 100% of the time. You will absolutely get 3 kills within those 6 seconds. That is an easy thing to do with the Red Death. However, we then have a whole other factor of the Catalyst, which is the Remnant that can heal your teammates. So what's going on there? Well, as you can see, when I get that healing restoration burst, I don't see anything. However, my teammate was telling me they actually see something on the ground and it looks like a healing turret. Technically, you see your own restoration remnant, but because it spawns directly on you, like even if you're jumping through the air and you get that kill, it will spawn literally in the air. And so you instantaneously pick it up whenever it spawns, so you won't really be able to see it. But it's there for my teammate, and as you can clearly see, when my teammate runs over to where I was standing, you see my teammate glow, they get that healing effect, that healing visual effect, and they actually get the restoration times 2. So like I said, this is one of the most powerful survivability buffs in the game. Not only are you constantly getting it every 3 kills, but any teammate who walks over this is also getting it. Guys, this is so far beyond like heal clip, you know, and the normal Red Death, right? Where reloading would give nearby allies cure times 1. That's already great. That's just gonna give your teammates a chunk of healing. Giving your teammates restoration, this is very similar to being hit by a healing turret from the Speaker's Sight exotic helmet, right? Like, that is how insane restoration times 2 is. This is a massive team support tool. And speaking of the Speaker's Sight helmet, this exotic helmet is seeing a ton of play right now. One of the best healing builds we have ever seen is the Solar Warlock with the Speaker's Sight. Guys, look at what happens when I get a kill with the charged Red Death. I trigger that remnant. I have the Speaker Sight on. As you can see right here, an orb shoots out of my teammate. So yes, this is going to be yet another thing that can produce orbs in PvE, because they stopped it for PvP because it was so OP, but in PvE for the Speaker Sight. So this slots into the Speaker Sight build incredibly well. Like, you just have another thing, you're leaving behind these things that your teammates can pick up to produce even more orbs of power. Now, in PvP, apparently killing 1 Guardian will charge up the Red Death, and then the next kill will drop that Restoration Remnant, right? So that's also incredible. Good luck winning a duel with a guy with Restoration times 2 and the Red Death, right? But even in my bread and butter PvE, this is incredible. I used the Red Death a lot when it first came out, just when I was leveling up my Prismatic Titan for that survivability. With this Catalyst, you are massively improving the survivability. And the most important part is that even though it's very good for teammates, right? Like that Remnant providing restoration for your teammate, incredibly good, right? But you don't need it. This is completely functional solo, right? Every 3 red bar kills, you are getting that massive amount of restoration. And remember, guys, Like, if you're playing, restoration is a keyword. If you're playing a subclass with fragments that can extend the effects of restoration, that can get benefits for when you have restoration, it gets even more powerful. And so overall, like, this is just, you gotta get this darn catalyst, right? So whenever you get this catalyst, make time to level it up and put it on your Red Death. This was already a fantastic exotic. With the catalyst, you are making a fantastic exotic significantly better. Again, this is not a minor effect. This is a significant increase to your survivability with a gun that had one of the best survivability factors in the game. Like, it is very, very effective. Guys, that is it for the video. Hope you enjoyed and found this informative. If you did, please remember to help me out by simply rating and especially sharing this video. If you guys want to see more Destiny 2 content similar to this, don't be afraid to slap that subscribe button. If you want to get in touch with me and keep up to date with the latest channel activity, the best way is to follow me on Twitter at RickCacus. That is linked in the description down below. Again, I hope you enjoyed the video, and as always, have a good day.